Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. This is Tom at GradeLink. This is our wrap up the school year webinar. So hopefully you can hear me okay. Okay, everybody seeing light at the end of the tunnel now? For some, the light may be a little stronger than for others, but the school year will end soon enough. Okay, as far as this webinar is concerned, currently I have everybody's mic open. If you'd like to ask a question, please go ahead and do so. If the background noise gets to be too much, I'm going to have to turn off everybody's mic. But you can still ask a question by using chat. And in the Join Me widget that you probably have on your screen, there should be a button on it with what looks like a chat bubble. If you click on that, that'll open up a chat window, and you can always ask a question via chat. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me change your view to a GradeLink screen. Okay. So, first thing you want to do before running your report cards is you're going to need to conclude your classes. This is a really important step within GradeLink because the final report card that you produce, as well as your transcript, for those of you who are going to be needing to produce transcripts at the end of the year, you need to conclude your classes. Concluding the class creates a permanent record that GradeLink holds on to. It also populates what's called the transcript table. And when you produce a transcript or a report card, GradeLink goes to your school's transcript table to pull the grade information out and display it in the report card or transcript. Okay, there's two ways that you can conclude classes. Typically, teachers will do this. And for every class that a teacher teaches, there will be a conclude button at the lower left part of their screen. They click on conclude, they're asked to confirm that they want to conclude, and then the class is concluded. So how do you, as an administrator, tell when a class is concluded? If you click here on classes, and then look at your list of classes, you also want to be sure you have the correct term up. If the classes are black, like you see here, they are unconcluded. If the classes are purple, with 2 stars in front, these classes are concluded. Remember, only concluded classes will appear on report cards or transcripts, so you want to be sure they get concluded. Like I said, there's two, in addition to teachers being able to conclude classes, you as an administrator can also do so. To conclude an individual class, just click on the name of the class. Over to the left and below, there's a button that says Conclude. Click on it. You're asked, are you sure you want to conclude it? You would click Yes. If a teacher comes to you and says, I've made a mistake, I need to change something in a class, to unconclude it, you would again be sure to click on the concluded class, come over here to the left, and then click on the Unconclude button and confirm you want to unconclude. And that will then unconclude the class, allowing the teacher to make whatever changes he or she needs to make. The second way of concluding classes, you can conclude them all at one time. I know that there are many schools that set a deadline for teachers to have their grades in. When that deadline comes, the school concludes all classes. Here's how you do that. You want to click on your Terms button over here to the left. Select the term that you'd like to conclude, and then there will be a Conclude button over here to the left. Click on that Conclude button. It's going to ask you to confirm that you want to conclude all classes in that quarter. Click on yes. And then you will be notified when the term is concluded. So now if we go back here to classes, we'll see that quarter 4 is now concluded. Okay? It's vital, if a teacher asks the class to be concluded, that they reconclude it once they have finished making whatever changes they need to make. Otherwise, report cards and transcripts will not be updated with the correct information. Okay, if you need to make any changes to attendance, you as an administrator can do that by clicking here on the attendance button and then selecting the appropriate class. If you use class-based attendance, you would select the class itself. If not, then you probably have a specific attendance class. If I can find it. There it is. So you would enter the grade that you'd like to change your attendance for.
Hi, Miss Miley. Hey. How are you?
You can then bring up the attendance sheet, make the change. Just be sure you select Save Changes. Otherwise, whatever changes you make don't get saved. Also, you'll need to go to your classes list. Click on the attendance class and click Save. That, in effect, will reconclude the class. And it will update whatever changes you've made. Okay, can I answer any questions about what you'll need to do to close out the year as far as your classes? Okay, let's go ahead and go to report cards. All right, so to access your report cards, you would click on Administrator Reports, and then click on your report card button. And then you indicate over here where it says Select Terms, which terms you would like displayed on the report card. Your display mode over here to the upper center should read normal. And then you have your choice of selecting your students either as individuals, by a particular class, or by an entire grade level. If you have a specific report profile, it will be shown here. In this case, there's just one report profile. It's general. Some schools may have a different report profile for each grade level. So be sure you're selecting the correct report profile, or your report card's not going to look right. There are some report card options you can use over here to the left. You click on it. Show grade placement will add a line on the report card that says the student will be in a particular grade for the next year. So if you're running report cards for first grade, and all of your first grade students are going to be in second grade next year, you can select grade 2 for your placement. And it will add a line on the report card that indicates the student will be in grade 2 next school year. If you'd like to use numbered comments and have them displayed on the report card, you want to check this box. Show percentage grade, what that will do is it will display your grades as percentage instead of letter grades. Show school attendance will give attendance figures on the report card, such as how many days absent, how many tardies. If you'd like to show an average grade on the report card for the entire year, you can check that. If you make any changes in your report card options, be sure you click on Save Profile Settings so that they'll save. So once you have determined which report card you're going to produce and selected the appropriate profile and any options that you want, you would click on the Submit button. The report card file will then generate. It'll look a lot better than this. Let me try this again. Okay. So the report card comes up. Here you have a couple of choices if you'd like to print them. What GradeLink recommends is first click on this PDF icon up at the top center. That will convert your report cards to a PDF file. You can then print from the PDF file. You can also store the PDF file either on a computer, on the removable disk drive or thumb drive or flash disk. Also, if you would like your parents to be able to, parents and students, to be able to view their report cards online when they log into GradeLink, you would click here on the Publish Online button. It's going to ask you if you want to go ahead and publish them online. Click Continue. And then it'll tell you that they've successfully published report cards. So now when a parent or student logs into GradeLink, and clicks on the Grades button, there's going to be a Download Report Card PDF icon. Clicking on it will download the student's report card, which the parent can then save or print. I'm going to go back to the Administrator Reports and then Report Card. If you look here where it says View Published Report Cards, click on it. It'll show you which report cards have been published. It will give you the date and time that they were published. And it will also indicate when that report card was last viewed, whether it be by parent or by student. So you'll know when your parents log into GradeLink and take a look at the report card. Only the most current report cards are shown here. So in this case, this report card was published back in August of 2015. Well, there's never been another report card published for this particular student, so that's why this one is still online. Only the most recently published report card is going to be viewable. Anytime you publish a report card, it's going to overwrite any other published report card. To remove a report card from this list, just click the Remove button, and it will be taken off. If you want to remove all published report cards, there's a button up here in the upper right that will allow you to remove all published report cards. Now, once they're published, you have to allow your parents and students to see them. So there's one last step. Click over here to the left on Settings. Make sure you have Parent and Student highlighted. And in the upper right, put a check in the box next to Published Report Cards. If this box is not checked, parents cannot see the report cards even though you published them. So it's a two-step process. First publish them, and then give your parents permission to view them by putting a check in this box. Then be sure you click on your Save Changes button. The parent will be able to see that published report card until a new one is published or until you remove that report card from the published report card list. Okay, it's a good idea to do a dry run of your report cards as soon as you can. Preferably a week or two before you actually need them. Because if you see something that isn't right, that gives us sufficient time to hopefully get it fixed. So the sooner you can do a test run of your report cards, the better. It's okay when you are testing your report cards. It's okay to select preview instead of normal, because chances are chances are very good that your fourth quarter classes are not yet concluded, so they're not going to show up on the report card. So, like I say, if you get a chance, do a dry run of your report cards and make sure they look the way you want them to. And if not, get a hold of us so we can get it fixed and looking the way you want them to look. Okay, can I answer any questions about report cards?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
I see that you're under administrator reports. Are the teachers able to access this if they're not given administrative access? Only teacher access.
Teachers, yeah. There is a method of allowing teachers to produce report cards. If you would like if it's, for teachers, there'll be a button that says reports.
Okay.
And if there's no report card button over here for a teacher to view, then they can't do it. If you would like teachers to be able to produce report cards and they cannot do so currently, give us a call so we can go ahead and activate the report card button for your teachers.
Okay.
By default, they cannot, but we can set it up so that they can.
Okay. We would just have to call you to set that up for them.
Right. Yeah.
It's
really,
perfect.
we just have to go in and throw a switch and we'll be good.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, let's move. Go ahead. Beg your pardon? Okay, let's move on to a subject near and dear to the hearts of pretty much every student at your school. That is promotion. I don't know about you, but when I was teaching, students have a really funny idea that they should be promoted at the end of the year. So GradeLink makes it a very easy process. So what you want to do is in GradeLink, click on your Students button. Then in Students, click on the... I'm going to go ahead and deactivate the mics for now. There's a lot of background noise going on, and I don't want to get too distracted. So I'm going to turn your mics off. You should still be able to hear me. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat window to send them to me. So I'm going to turn off everybody's mic. Okay, promotion of students. So like I say, you want to click on the Students button over here to the left, and then click on the Admin button at the top and to the right. Then click on the Promote button. Okay, so first step, make sure all your classes have been concluded and that you've done your report cards. We even give you a Learn How link. Next step, if you have any students who are not going to be promoted, you can click on this button that says Select the Students to Exclude, and then any name you put a check next to, that student will not be promoted to the next grade. Next step, click on the Promote Students button. What's going to happen is all of your students will go up one grade level. So we click on Promote Students. When your list of students over here to the right turns green, it's done. Number 4 only matters if you're using EnrollMe. And what this optional adjust status of re-enrollment students means is in EnrollMe, which is our online paperless enrollment system, there's a report that you can run in EnrollMe that will show you which of your families have not re-enrolled their students. So the optional status re-enrollment active needs to be set to re-enrollment for those of you who are using EnrollMe. Otherwise, the not re-enrolled report won't work. Otherwise, it can just be left as active. Okay, the last step is you want to inactivate your graduated students. So if you have any 12th grade students, like for example, this student here was in 12th grade, she now shows as 13. If you are a K through 8 school, your 8th graders will display on this list as 9th graders. So what you do is select the grade level to inactivate. So in this case, this school, grade 13 would be the one to be inactivated. So we have this one student here on the list, actually 2. There are several students in grade 13. So they're graduating and moving on. Click on the Inactivate Students. Confirm that you want to inactivate them. And you'll notice now they turn gray. That means they've now been moved from active students to your alumni student list. And you can access your alumni list by clicking here on Students. And then above your list of students, there's a button that says All Active. If you click on it, it brings up a drop-down list. Choose Alumni, and you'll see a list of all your alumni. Also, GradeLink allows you to communicate with your alumni. So if you click on the Communicate button, click on Smart Send. One of the groups you have access to are your alumni. Okay. I have any questions about promoting students? So that's really all there is to it. Students, admin, promote, and then just follow the steps in order. Okay, I have a question about volunteer hour tracking and whether GradeLink can now allow us to assign a parent to monitor volunteer hours rather than requiring a GradeLink admin account. As of right now, and I'll have to check on this after the webinar, I don't believe we have changed anything about requirement. I think it still requires an administrator. Reason being is you have to have access to administrator reports to get there. A full administrator will have access. Full administrators are the ones in black. A limited administrator, which are the ones in purple, can be given permission to access administrator reports. So in administrator reports, you have your service hours, and then they would be displayed here. The issue with allowing a parent to monitor volunteer hours instead of an administrator is because in order to get to it, you have to go into administrator reports. Once you're into administrator reports, there's a lot of information that someone can get about your student body that you probably don't really want them to know, or it would be, not at the very least not advisable and possibly even illegal for anybody not connected with the school to be seeing this information. So like I say, if whomever it is who sent this question via chat, if you could send an email to service@gradelink.com asking that same question, I will check with our developers to see what the current status of that is, because I know this is something that has been requested, the ability to assign a parent volunteer. I do not know where we are with it or at what point we are going to try to make that change or not. So like I say, if you could please send me an email with that question to service@gradelink.com, I will find out and get back to you. Okay. Next, let's talk about your transcripts. At the bottom of your transcript form, you'll see that there is the official certifying transcripts. There's space for a signature. There's also space for the printed name, title, and date that the individual is going to be signing and certifying the transcripts. You can change this. If you'd like to go ahead and pre-enter the printed name of the certifying individual, let me show you what to do. You want to scroll to the top of the page and click on Transcript Options. You'll then be taken to the Transcript Options page. You want to come down here. If you have more than one transcript report profile, maybe you have one transcript that has your school logo watermarked on it and another one that doesn't, or depending on the state, there may be different transcript requirements, so you may have different transcript profiles. For most of you, there will be a single general profile. Click on the button that says Manage Report Profiles, and then click on the appropriate profile up here in the upper right, and then you'll see some information come up. Here's what you want: the official certifying the transcript name. So you would click here on Edit, enter the name of the individual, and then click over here on Save. Same way with the title of the individual who's going to be certifying your transcripts. Click on Edit, fill it in, and click Save. If you would like the date the individual certifies the transcript to be shown, indicate yes. Okay, so we'll go back to the transcript. If any of you are in South Carolina, this is really important because South Carolina, if a student is in line to receive a Palmetto Scholarship, I believe they require the transcript date to be the same as the student's graduation date. Now, the default for GradeLink transcripts is the transcript date is whatever date you produce the transcript. So if you're producing a transcript for this student who may be in line for a Palmetto Scholarship, and it's after the graduation date, that's a problem. So again, what you're going to want to do is click on Transcript Options. Select your report profile, click on Change, or click on Manage Report Profiles. Click on the profile name at the upper right. And then, let's see. Yeah. Use the following transcript date. So you can indicate what date that you would like to be shown on your transcripts. So like I say, if it's past your graduation day, you can amend the date so that the transcript date will also be the graduation date. Like I say, I know in South Carolina that's a big deal. So if any of you are with South Carolina and you have any questions about this, please contact us. We'll go through how you can make sure that your student who's in line for a Palmetto Scholarship doesn't lose out because the transcript date doesn't match his or her graduation date. Okay. I'm going to go back to the transcript options. if you don't want to see GPA information on your transcript, you can choose to hide it. If you would like to show your graduation requirements on your transcript, you would check the box here. The way that looks like is you would see the graduation requirements as well as the number of units the student has earned in each of the categories. So like I say, if you'd like that information displayed on your transcripts, you want to click on Transcript Options and put a check in this box next to Show Graduation Requirements on transcripts. If your state requires the state cumulative GPA to be shown, be sure to check that box. If you would like to display the rank of the student, check the box next to Display Class Rank. If you want to compare your students graduating at the same time or in the same year, you would choose this radio button, Compare to Students Graduating the Same Year. And you also want to be sure, here in Students, select the name of a student. Make sure the graduation date is filled in for each of your graduating students. Otherwise, the transcript ranking will not rank. Oops. I need to save that. There we go. Okay. Back to transcripts. The class rank will display down here, whatever the rank is out of however many are in that class. If you don't give the same graduation date to everybody who's graduating at the same time, then the number of people in the class may include inactive students who would have graduated this particular year. So like I say, if you want to include class rank, Transcript Options, display the class rank, and then compare to students graduating in the same year. Make sure each student has the same graduation date. Okay, if you'd like percentages as well as letter grades on your transcripts, click here. If you need to manually add transcript records, you have a choice of entering them as percentage grades or as letter grades. If you click here, you'll be asked to enter a percentage grade. If you want to order any credit, no credits last on your list of classes for a term, click this box. And then for terms that are not finished yet, for example, if a student is leaving the school before graduating and still wants a transcript, if you display your grades as semesters made up of 2 quarters, then chances are the 4th quarter grades are not going to be complete. So the transcript for your 2nd semester would be marked as in progress. Here it says report on grade levels between 9 and 12. So if you are a high school or have high school students and you only want high school grades to be included on the transcript, you would choose grade levels between 9 and 12. School head title. Whatever your title is, whether it be principal, administrator, head of the school, Grand Imperial Ruler, whatever it is, whatever you put here in the head title, that's going to appear here in the upper right of your transcript. Okay. We suggest when you produce your transcripts that you save them to PDF before you print them. If you just print them, you're going to get some information at the top of the page and at the bottom of the page that really has nothing to do with a transcript. It's more like printer settings. So I would suggest you save them as PDF. And as long as you've saved it as a PDF and are printing from the PDF, you might as well save the PDF file as well. That way you can just go directly to the PDF file and print another copy if you need to. If you need to edit anything on the transcript, you can edit a grade by clicking on Edit Grades. If you need to add grades from a previous school, a student came from a different school and has grades to add, you would click on the Add Grades button. You would give it a title. Maybe it's Semester 1 from whatever school they came from. Give it start and end date, and these can be approximate. They don't have to be exact. Enter the name of the class, the number of credits the class is worth. If it's a credit, no credit class, you can click on this box. Indicate the grade scale you're using. If it's to apply to a graduation category, you can indicate that category. And then fill in the grade. Also, fill in the grade level the student was in when he or she took the class. Click on the name of the student to whose transcript you're adding the class, and then click on Add to Transcript, and it will go ahead and go in. Okay, I had a question. Transcripts printed prior to the end of the year indicate a grade and credit earned, even though that may not be the final grade and they have not earned the credit. Is there a way to avoid showing this information instead of listing in progress? It's a little tricky, especially if you display your grades by quarters, then it won't be an issue because unconcluded quarters just won't appear. If you display your grades either as a full year term or in semesters, that becomes a little bit different because once you conclude your third quarter grades will appear as semester grades on the transcript with the in-progress wording. I don't know of a way of shutting that off. Let me check real fast. If you click here, it just won't show you the grades. It'll still show you the classes the student is taking, but it won't show you the grades. Okay. Can I answer any other questions about transcripts? I'm going to go ahead and turn the mics on. Okay, everybody's mic is back on. Do you have any questions? Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get to our final topic, and that is getting set up for next year. So let's go over here to terms. Okay, so what you're going to do is set up your terms for next year. So if you run on a semester basis, the first thing you want to do is create your semester 1 term. So you would go here to term title and enter semester 1, 2017 to 2018. Report title is how the semester column on the report card is labeled. I suggest making it no longer than just SEM1, SEM1. Enter your first day of school. So in this case, school is going to start on the 21st of August. And then indicate when your semester ends. So for this particular school, it's going to end on the 22nd of December. Click on Add. And you'll see now it gets displayed. Now we need to add quarter 1. So we'll go quarter 1. (2017, 2018). Report title, I'll just call it Q1. Start date will be the first day of school. And then your end date will be your end day of your first quarter. Click on Add. Okay, now, you notice how the quarters are indented under the semesters? This has to do with parent term. So you want to assign quarter 1 to a parent term semester 1. So to do that, you would click on quarter 1, click on parent term, and select semester 1, 2017-2018, and then click on Submit Changes. So once you have created your first term, you can copy your classes into it. So we're going to copy from quarter 4 to quarter 1. So we click on quarter 4, click on Copy Term Classes. Oops, it's too early. So here's what we do. In Settings, click on the General button. And then put a check next to temporarily allow early copying of term classes. Yes, confirm that you want to do this, and then click on the Save Changes button. Normally, GradeLink doesn't let you copy classes until about a week or two before the term starts. Well, since we don't start until the summer ends, we can go ahead and just copy them now by giving ourselves permission to do it. So we'll go back to Terms. Click on quarter 4 and click on Copy Term Classes. So we're going to copy from quarter 4 current year to quarter 1 of the coming year. This is a really important step, this next one. Notice here it says keep students in the same classes, and there's a check here. You want, when you're copying from quarter 4 or final term of one year to the first term of the next year, you want to be sure you uncheck this. Otherwise, what's going to happen is all of your classes, or your students rather, all of your students in the current class will be students in the class the following year. So you're copying your class rosters as well. You don't want to do that. You only want to copy the classes. So be sure and uncheck this. Otherwise, you're going to have the hassle of taking them out of those classes before you can put your new students in. Click on the Copy Classes button. You'll be asked to confirm that you want to copy them. And you'll now see that quarter 1 has 49 classes. You can at any time, once you've set up your first term for the following year, go ahead and set up the rest of the terms as well. So there's no reason why you can't set them up. One more reason for getting your next year's first quarter set up a little earlier is if your teachers like to use the summer to do lesson plans, and they're using GradeLink's lesson plan tool, you're going to need to copy the classes into the first term, and this is really important, click on the first term, click on the box next to Active to put a check in it, click on Submit Changes. Notice now the quarter 1 turns green. When it's green, that means it's active. I'm going to go ahead and turn the mics off again. Okay, when the quarter is set, or the term, the first term is in green, that means it's active. Only active terms can be seen by teachers, excuse me. Only active terms can be seen by teachers in the lesson plan tool and in their grade sheets. So if you'd like them to go ahead and be able to work on their lesson planning over the summer, this is how you do it. You go ahead and you copy your classes from your last term this year to your first term next year, and then make that term active. Teachers who love to get a head start on things and do this over the summer will love you for it. All right, I'm going to turn the mics back on and take any questions you might. Okay, so that pretty much covers how to finish out this year and get yourself set up for next year. Can I answer any questions about this? Okay, any questions about GradeLink in general? Okay, don't forget that we have our online help resource here where the big yellow question mark is. You can ask us a question using this form, and it will be sent to us. Or you can search for specific topics here by clicking on the magnifying glass and then entering the topic. For example, if you want to start using standards, here we have information on how to import them, how to report on them, how to set up standards-based grading. So, like I say, all of our help documentation can be accessed through this window. Like I say, you can also send us an email this way. You can also email us to service@gradelink.com or call us on our toll-free number, and that's 800-742-3083. Be sure to use option number 2 to get to support. Okay. With that, I thank you very much for joining me. Best of luck as you conclude the current school year. Thank you for your support of GradeLink. We certainly look forward to partnering with you as the new school year begins. And if there's anything we can do to help you get set up, especially if you're noticing some issues with your report cards, please let us know. And with that, like I say, thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and take care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.